So I am more skewed and focused on even hinting women like myself to learn a skill. Even if I don't use it, I would create job opportunities for others to come and use it. But at the end of the day, I understand the skill. So if you are not there, no one is indispensable. I can fit in and do the work. So I want us to drum more a bit on skills training, technical training, and focusing more on agriculture as Africa.
Fantastic. That's an aspect that we have sort of right from day one, even from my very first issue in January, I've been talking about technical education because we think it's an area that there isn't enough focus on at all, and it's something that can really help to bring out the numbers of other school children as well. Because if you have some people who are going the academic line and those who are going more vocational line, you know, they'll take that option if that option is available, and they feel that that's what most suits them instead of being out on the street and doing nothing. So thank you very much for that as well. Okay, so that'll take us to our next question, which is your focus and expertise is particularly directed towards SMEs. What is the government of Ghana doing to drive entrepreneurship in Ghana? That's number one. Two, and what part can SMEs play to reduce poverty in Africa?
Thank you. So the government of Ghana, I would say, have done quite well. They've brought a lot of initiatives that is ensuring that SMEs are being empowered. I know they have a national agenda to ensure that businesses thrive. So I remember there is this National Entrepreneurship and Innovation outfit as part of government. It's called NEIP, I think National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. So this program's focus is to support SMEs. And what they do is normally so for instance, small businesses that are doing well, there are some grants, there are some short-term facilities that goes to help them to get their businesses done. And they also help with using platforms like my own and other platforms to train and build capacity in these young businesses, so startups. I know there is also, we have the Ghana agency, Ghana Enterprise Agency, yes, Ghana Enterprise Agency. Their focus has also been very good. They've also, I'll say they've realigned majority, they've realigned to a lot of small businesses to grow. And they've partnered quite a number of developmental agencies to get funding, to get grants, and also to build capacity in businesses. So I think these are the two things that I think the government is really doing well. And I'll say there is a national agenda to actually making sure that small businesses thrive. So that is the aspect of the political maybe arena, let me put it like that. But on my own side and the side of individuals, what I'll say is that for me, I think that, like I earlier on said, leaders find problems or they identify problems, but it doesn't end there. They find solutions to the problems. So my years of banking, one of the key things I saw was that, okay, anytime a small business needs money, it's very tough. It is not tough because the person cannot have access to the money, but it is tough because the systems, the basic structures are not in place. There is no bookkeeping, there is no management competence. So you're asking yourself, I'm giving money to this person and how the money is going to be used for me to get my money back. Once there is a question mark there is no way we can let you have the money, because that money is somebody's money and we need to just turn it around for the money to come back. So I realized that was a critical angle that needs to be looked at. Across Africa and even internationally, it's been said that SMEs are the majority holders of every economy. I mean, they are private sector, they are whatever sector, but the point is that they are contributing largely to development of economies. So we cannot overlook the fact that SMEs play a critical role in every developing country. However, the point is, how do we get these SMEs to play the pivotal role that they are playing? Systems, structure, advisory services. Implementation of these systems have to be put, and that is why Tarragon Edge is there. So we found out that there is a problem. Women, especially, I am skewed to women because one of our key SDGs that we stand by is SDG 5. And it's about, women, gender equality and all that. But we also stand for economic development in general, SDG 7. So my point is, how then do we relate the issues that we identify? How then as an individual, do I relate to what I've seen when I was working in the bank to the problems that SMEs are facing, and how can I help solve it? And that is why the advisory services are there, building capacity in these SMEs are there. But the question is, are they also making themselves available? Is it just about looking for money? Because once you get the money, you need to pay back. So once you don't know the know-how of how to turn the money around to make the money come back, then there is a problem. So first of all, as small businesses, we should understand that we have a serious or a critical role to play in communities, in societies, and in our nations. The second point is that we need to be ready. We need to know that it's not just about starting a business, but we need to scale the business up and we need to sustain it. How do we scale up our business? Human capital is of essence. Getting the right human capital to work with is a challenge everywhere, but we can always get 1 out of the 10 to be good, and then we can groom others gradually. Succession planning. So once the SME leader or the business leader or the entrepreneur understands that it is not just about having a vision to run a business, but there are a few critical points that I need to put in place. So customer centricity is one. Knowing that you need to lead, so you show the way and others follow. So you build succession planning so that tomorrow when you are not there, the business can still run. Don't build a business around just you. Another thing is that put the basic systems and structures in place. Have a bookkeeping system, record keeping, have a management board. Governance is of importance wherever you find yourself in business. So the governance structure is important. Now we are all talking ESG, environmental, social, and governance. Don't be a business person that is just focused on your profitability, but also be focused on the environment. Be focused on society, that's impact. Not just ticking the box that I've gone to provide 10 boxes of sanitary parts to a ward, or have given tables and chairs to a school. No, that is not the CSR we are talking about. CSR of impact. Guide and build capacity in your team members so that they can also continue the business when you are not there. That is succession plan. That is part of societal impact. Another thing is that make sure that you are investor ready so that when the opportunity comes for your business to scale up, investors are ever prepared to support you. Banks are ever prepared to support you because they know what you are made of. They know you have the competence as a leader to manage it and bring it back. And the last thing is in terms of governance. No matter how small your business is, my advice is that put together a little board or a small board, a board that oversees the activities of your businesses. Once small businesses have adopted these simple things I'm talking about, I'm sure the role that we play in the nation, the role that we play across Africa and across our businesses would go a long way to even impact our economies better. So that is how I'm very unconventional. Forgive me, I don't answer the question straight away. I have to reconnect and connect just so that we get a broader scope.
I like it. Yes, I like it. I like it because, like you said, everything's connected. So it's always good to sort of try to tie all those things in. So I prefer your answers that way. Thank you very much.
Right. Just to add, in terms of poverty alleviation as SMEs, the whole point is that once we know that we are actually a majority critical factor in terms of building economies, SMEs know that, okay, once we are creating jobs, once our jobs are, for me, I'll say once our businesses are sustainable, because if you create a business and you don't even get to scale up, the first 3 years of every business we know is tough. But once you go past that first 3 years, now you are scaling up. You need to grow. You need to actually go through the product life cycle, the business life cycle, and make sure that you are becoming sustainable. Sustainability to me is living, doing other things, and somebody taking over. Sustainability to me is growing across Ghana, being in Nigeria, Rwanda, any part of Africa, and even going beyond. Sustainability to me is not just providing jobs, but making sure that it goes beyond me. Succession planning has been done. The business grows and becomes, I'll say, a global business because we are in a global environment. So I'm here and probably I'm collaborating with somebody in Nigeria, or I'm here and I'm collaborating with somebody in Rwanda or UK. My businesses are all over. But ensure that for you to be part of the pie that we say this fraction of SMEs are helping us alleviate poverty, it means you have put in the right systems, you put in the right structures, and you are going beyond your domestic or your geographical area. Let me put it like that.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that's very comprehensive response. Thank you. Okay, the next one is tell us about your initiatives to increase entrepreneurship. I know you've touched a little bit amongst women in particular. And what is Who Moves My Clothes all about?
Okay, so with my initiatives, I'll say that, one of the key things I stand by, like I said, is technical and skills training. I think entrepreneurship, we are all not the same. So definitely we'll be educated and all that. Some of us don't have the grit, because entrepreneurship, you need grit and gravitas to go through it. Some of us cannot stand. We don't have the resilience nature to go through it. It's tough. Yes. At the end of the month, whether we've made money or not, we need to pay our employees. And so entrepreneurship, I'll say it's not for everyone. That is the first point I want to make. However, to own 1% in $1 million company is better than to own nothing. So I would say that if you identify maybe 10 people who are very good in terms of they have the grit, they have the resilience, they have the passion to see it through. And we can all, the 50 of us can partner or can support to make sure that these 10 entrepreneurs that we've identified are doing well. That is the way to go. So we should do more of collaboration and support. That is one aspect. The next aspect is that I think that right from our educational system, we need to start teaching people that, look, you can have it all, meaning you can still work for someone and you can still be an entrepreneur. You can work within an organization and still own your own private side businesses. And that does not make you a full-time entrepreneur, but you are solving problems because you've identified some issues and you are trying to solve it. Another thing is that for me, I think we've all learned from global leaders. Businesses are not built in one day. Steve Jobs, may his soul rest in peace. We know his story. We know how at a point he had to exit his own company that he's built. But he was brought back because what? There was none like him. He had made a mark as a leader or as an entrepreneur. You solve problems. So there was a solution that could only be found from him. And he could be the one to provide that solution. So once you've identified that this is what I want to do as an entrepreneur, this is what I want to do as a business person, and you are doing it well, you have competence, you have the passion, you've got the right people on board, and you are doing it well, what happens is that you build other people. Today he's gone, but at least Cook and the others who he left behind have taken the business on. And that is why I keep hammering and reiterating on the need to build succession as a leader or as a business person. Because otherwise, Steve Jobs is gone and today there is no Apple. We won't hear of it. So these are some of the things that, to me, if we want to see entrepreneurship thrive, we need to build capacity in our team members. We need to ensure that there is collaboration. We need to replace competition with collaboration. You might be very good at something. I might not be too good at it, but I have the money. I should be ever willing to support you if I believe in your dream, so that when the company becomes big, at least I own a little, I own some shares in it. If I'm not there tomorrow, my son Jaden, who is 8 years, can take over. And once I have built that mindset in him, he can run with it. So I think to build more entrepreneurs, we need to start it from the home. That's how I'll put it. I learned entrepreneurship from the home. My mother was not doing one thing. She was doing 2, 3 different things. I will not say be jack of all trades and master of none, no. But I believe that you can be jack of all trades and master of all. It depends on your focus. It depends on your resilience. And it depends on commitment towards whatever you are doing. So I, Genevieve, I'm a trainer now. I do a lot of training. I teach people. I'm a public speaker. But it hasn't taken me away from my core things. I'm a banker by profession. So any daytime tea, when you put me in a banking suit, I can still fit. When you put me in the classroom to teach, I can teach. When you ask me to write, I can write. When you ask me to do public speaking, I can do public speaking. When you ask me to sew, I cannot sew because I have not learned how to sew. But is it something I am attracted to? If I am, then I will start learning. If I'm not, but I see that Joseph, who is my staff, is very good with sewing. Now, getting a cloth done for you is very expensive. So if I think the hat that my friend is wearing, I like it, and I want the way it is, but I want to make it my business, but I cannot do it, but Joseph can do it, I would support Joseph's business, or I would invest in Joseph to be able to do this so that we can export it even beyond Nigeria and Ghana. Take it outside, get people who love African or cosmopolitan dressing to go Afrocentric and buy it. And that is money. Joseph make money, Genevieve gets a share, and that's how to go, and that's how to grow more entrepreneurs. So the support for me and the collaboration, you won't take it out. It is very critical. Who Moved My Hills? Who Moved My Hills is actually a book that was written by 18 women across the globe. So Genevieve, I'm one of them from Ghana. Then there is Dr. Abna. She's also from Ghana. There is Dr. Nush. There is Dr. Alucia. There are a lot of them. I can't remember all the names, but there are some from South Africa. There are some from the US, some from Dubai, some from Kenya, women across the globe. And why did we put this book together? We put this book together because we realized that a lot of women are going through a lot, not just women, business people. But entrepreneurship, like I started by saying, requires a few characteristics, a few attributes, requires a few focus areas. One is the resilience. Another one is the focus and the commitment against all odds. It's not an easy journey. It is not everybody who would be an entrepreneur and a successful one at that. But we realize that no matter what, there is something that always keeps coming to us naturally as women. So you might I started a catering business so many years ago whilst I was a banker. And then I realized that, okay, I love to see good food. I love to see nice pastries and stuff. I don't have the time, although I can do it. So I employed some people to do it. Unfortunately, they ran it down. Yes, definitely, I'm human. My focus and my passion to what I started, it will get to me that they wasted my money and all that. But did I give up? I opened a gift shop because I love to see new things. I love to see beautiful things around my space. I love to see decorated places. My space should always look good. I love small things, but beautiful things. So I opened a gift shop. Where did it get to? It also ran down. Did I give up? No. When I was deciding at a point that I would exit banking or full-time job, I had a plan. I wanted to be a trainer. So I started educating myself. I started being somebody who would be able to teach in the classroom, somebody who can teach high-profile people, somebody who can teach C-suite leaders, somebody who can teach on every phase. So what did I do? I prepared myself. Who Moved the Hills has different stories, but I'll talk about my story. So my story was about the entrepreneurial wheel, or the wheel of the entrepreneur. Your wheel of life is basically every aspect of your life that puts together and how you as a person prioritizes it. So for instance, my personal wheel of life would have my educational my career, my societal activities, my family life, my spiritual life, my financial life. That's my wheel of life as a person. Yours might be different because you have different focus areas. My wheel of life, in terms of what I wrote as an entrepreneur's wheel of life, is for you to identify the different phases and changes that comes along as you go the entrepreneurial journey. There'll be hard times, there'll be tough times, there'll be challenging times, but I see all these phases as experiences. They are not drawbacks. They are experiences that you go through to be able to refocus, realign, re-strategize, and move to the next level. So yes, I started by saying that I started 3 businesses. They all went down before 3 years. But did I give up? Who moved my heels? Who made me feel? How did I feel that I need to get back? You know how women, when we stand on our heels, you know how extravagant we look like, right? So who moved my heels is just an analogy. Like when you are wearing a heel and it is moved, you become flat. When it is moved, you go down. I always use the scenario that when I'm on my heels, the way I walk is calculated. You see how I'm making my head? Yes. I walk with some finesse. However, when I'm in a down slip-on or I'm in a flat shoe, I walk like this, like as I've been pushed. So who moved my heels is just ironically saying that when your heels are moved, it brings you back to ground zero. So who moved it? Whatever moved it can be challenges or experiences. Whatever moved it can be financial constraint. Whatever moved it can be just people, human capital. Whatever moved it can be so many other factors. However, when it was moved, did you just leave it there or you bounced back? So basically, Who Moved My Heels brings stories from 18 different entrepreneurs and telling you why they decided to go back, or telling you why at a point they gave up, but then they did not just stay there, they moved ahead. So my story is just about the entrepreneurial wheel, and I spoke about different phases of the entrepreneurial journey and some of the key things that you should have as an entrepreneur. And I didn't forget about the people management. So first of all, the people management to me is one critical thing, because that is what collapsed my 3 other businesses. And so now, how do I identify the best team member to work with? How am I sure that the way I am going is the best way for me? How do I delegate so that I get the best people in my team to continue the job for me? Because if I'm working at the bank, I cannot divide my time fully. So 70% will go into the bank and 30%. But whilst I'm away, have I groomed other people who can run the business just as I would do whilst there? So those are the things that I spoke about. And also the fact that no matter how challenging the journey is, once you are passionate, once you are resilient, once you keep the commitment and the focus, and you have the grit and the gravitas, I'm sure you would excel in it no matter what. So that's how my story was.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thanks for that. I learned quite a lot. Listen to that just now, actually. Okay. You were on a work-related trip to Nigeria recently. Does that mean your initiatives extend beyond the shores of Ghana? Do you have an African focus or just a purely Ghanaian one?
Thank you. I'll say I don't even have an African focus. I have a global focus. My focus is global. I believe that you work locally, but you think globally. That's what I believe in. So I'm a Ghanaian, I'm an African. So first of all, I think I have to secure the ground of my nation. I have to make sure that my impact is being felt locally. Then I moved across my own jurisdiction. So I moved to Nigeria, Rwanda, Kenya, and other parts of Africa. Then I go internationally. That is how I think. And that's how every human being, every leader should think. Think beyond your local jurisdiction. So in answering your question, I would say that yes, recently I was in Nigeria and I was with the microfinance summit. There was a conference for Nigeria microfinance banks. So I had to come and moderate on ESG. I'm a sustainability focused person. So whatever I do, sustainability is very critical to me. So when I was called upon to come and speak on SDG 5 and also to help redirect our focus a bit to women-centered products in the banking industry or in the financial industry. So that's what I came to do, and also to moderate a session. And in saying that, I'll say that collaboration, like I earlier on said, is key. I live in Ghana. I don't know the organizers of the program. However, whilst in the UK, I had the opportunity to be on a session where I moderated, and one of these people were on. So based on probably how I moderated, it caught his attention, and you realize that, oh, I can tap into Genevieve's knowledge base, and then he invited me there. So I would say that for me, we are Africans. It's one small world, but we are thinking beyond Africa. So whatever initiative I come up with, be it financial empowerment of women or youth leadership, I don't just think Ghana. I go beyond Ghana. And I have a project I call Beyond the Certificates. This project is actually centered on young people in universities, tertiary institutions. And I have done it in different countries. Although maybe in Ghana, it has taken a lot of, we've done a lot because this is where we are based. I have given the right to other people to run it in their own countries. And I think that is how we should think as leaders. So when you have an initiative and it's good, you look for collaborators across your jurisdiction, and then you can run the same things there. When it comes to building capacity in women, how did I get holding in other countries like Nigeria, in Kenya, in Rwanda, and in the UAE? The UAE is not part of Africa, but I have a great footing there because I have built capacity in a lot of women-owned businesses. And I think that is how every leader should think. Think globally and work locally.
Fantastic. Beyond certificate, I've heard of that before. Is there a Nigerian lady called Esther Adigunle or something? Do something like that? Does that name ring a bell?
I don't have any affiliation with her, but I think I saw something like that. Somebody tried some time, but I started mine actually in 2018. But what I was doing was more of all the tertiary institutions. I had I have a network called the Tarragon Edge Students Network, where I focus more on internship opportunities for these young ones, career guidance and counseling, mentorship, coaching, giving them space to work. Because I think when we were growing up in the universities, they even come and recruit us before we finish school. But now that isn't there anymore. And also it is because a lot of young people feel entitled. So they think once they're done with school, they'll get jobs. It's not there. So you need to be very conscious. You need to, I'll say you need to stand out to be able to be seen. So how do we take back the things that work outside? People are in school and 17 years, 18 years, when they are on vacation, they come and work at Costco, Walmart. I mean, all the shops you can reach just to get some, build your interpersonal skills, your communication skills, your time management, and little things that can help you beyond your certificate. So the whole idea is that beyond the certificate, there is so much more you need to know and learn. Once you are able to get these things at the back of your mind, it shapes you better. It makes you, I'll say it makes you excel, and it makes you become outstanding in your field of work, So that is why beyond the certificate is a very passionate one to me in terms of the youth development. And I am even looking for more collaborators across, people to come and also run with it.
Run that, fantastic initiative. I agree so much with that, because it's something we even at our publication agree so much with. You can't limit everything to just certificates, like you said, a number of people feel that once it gets, they have a sense of entitlement, thinking that once it gets certificate, everything's something, they get it. It's not like the world has gone beyond that now. There has to be something that separates you from the next person who also has the same certificate. So
be the
thank you very much. That's right. So question number 9. We have just 2 remaining. Question number 9. This is another long question, or please forgive my long questions. You have been listed as one of the 100 most impactful chain makers in Africa, and I have to congratulate you for that, by Humanitarian Awards Global 2023, and listed amongst the 40 most influential female leaders in Ghana in 2020. In addition, you have won several awards, both in banking and in leadership. Which one of these means the most to you, and why?
Wow. I will first of all say all these awards are on merit basis, and I love all of them. But I'll say maybe there are two that really touched me because of the stories around it.
Yeah.
The first one has to do with one by business executive, and it was in the banking space. I won this award in 2021, just after COVID, the lockdown. And one of the questions I asked the organizers when I came and I saw the mail in my inbox at the bank, I asked that, why me? Because the people who have won this award are really, I don't want to say I'm underrating myself, but I mean, we have categories, right? These are CEOs of banks, directors of banks. I remember Abiola, UBA. She was actually the during COVID, you finished your doctorate. It was tough. I wouldn't say it was easy. The next point is that during the same COVID, you initiated two key projects, the WISE Network International in Ghana, where women continuously are being built in terms of leadership and groomed to take up leadership, higher leadership roles in corporate and also nation or national level. The same COVID 2020 era, you started the Rex Leadership Club. And the same period, your banking work was also peaked. You were delivering great service. So one person in the midst of all the challenges that we are all going through, and people have withdrawn, people have given up, you have stood the test of time. It's like it's become your silver lining. You've rather propelled in the midst of all these challenges. Yeah. So putting it all together, a lot of bankers are not able to multitask and do so many things at the same time. But it's beautiful to watch you as young as you are. You're not on CC, you're not on the top, but you've done so well. Nothing drew you back. And so when I heard all these comments, I'm like, oh wow. I didn't even know that I've done all these, because I wasn't doing it with I was just doing it because I wanted to do it. And the last thing they said was, this same year, you actually released your first book, The Jigsaw Effect of Leaders, where I actually spoke about so many things on the leadership journey and how we should not think leadership is a position, but we should think beyond it. It's not a title. I mean, you can be a leader wherever you find yourself. So when they put all these things together, honestly, I took the award with pride, because I think awards have become something. So I have my own, when it comes to award, I'm very particular, the awarding body, what is behind the story, why the selection, Genevieve. So these are some of the questions I asked, and I was really touched. That was the first one. The second one has to do with one called A Torchbearer for Africa. And this was given to me in Rwanda, Kigali, at the Trade and Investment, or I think in 2021 too, TAJ. It's called TAJ. It was a TAJ conference. So I spoke at that conference, and out of that, they gave me this. So who is a torchbearer? A torchbearer is somebody who holds it and is moving with it, but you're not just moving with it, you're moving with it with those behind you, because they need to see and follow. And so at a point, you need to leave it and then somebody would also continue. And so that also got to me because I realized that, okay, as a leader who has a vision, you don't just keep it to yourself. You actually decentralize it in a way of communication. So you communicate the vision to your people for them to understand that this is where we are headed towards.
Yes.
I am leading you, but it doesn't mean that I know it all. I am leading you, but it doesn't mean that I have all the answers. So I need your buy-in.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, that's frozen. See that? God, isn't that she's frozen there? Oh, wow. I did. We lost her there. Hello. I did. I think you're on mute.
Yeah.
I think we lost you.
Sorry.
We lost
Yes,
you.
I was saying that, I'm sorry. I was saying that in all this, I would say that I don't take all the credits, but I give it back to the people who have groomed, mentored me, and ensured that I've gotten to where I've gotten to. So I was giving you the name of my former MD at Fidelity Bank, the co-founder and the former MD of Fidelity, now the chairman of the board, Mr. Jim Baden, and then all the great people that I have encountered, my former bosses, who saw that there was a potential in me and they groomed me towards it. And above all, my parents. I can't ever say thank you to them because they saw the leadership bit in me right from day one, and they decided that, look, no matter what, we would empower this girl. No matter what, we would support her. So today, 1 minute I'm here, the next minute I'm there, but my mother takes care of my son. And so the support system has been great, and I cannot say thank you enough. So if I have the opportunity to say thank you to people, I have a lot of names. But maybe I'll say my husband has been great. I have a few people around me who have coached me and are still coaching. Eugenia, Dr. Abe, Esther, Esiedu Labi, so many people. Fred Asimeni, who else? Mr. Ebo Sando, great entrepreneurs who are going and doing everything to make sure that Genevieve succeeds in whatever endeavor she takes. And we support her no matter what initiative she's taking. So I really appreciate these people. And I pray for such people. And I advise that every leader should have a coach and a mentor. It's important.
Fantastic. There's a part we missed there earlier on. You mentioned something about leadership. That is, but we lost you there. You mentioned about leadership that I think you're saying that it wasn't a matter of position or something. But then you lost.
So I was saying that my first book, The Jigsaw of Leaders, first book that I authored, The Jigsaw of Leaders, one of the key angles that I looked at was to say that leadership has nothing to do with the position you find yourself or the title you hold. But wherever you find yourself, even as little as a child, at home, I started my leadership role. Although I'm not the first child, I started playing that leadership role right from childhood when I was about 12 years. I had an elder brother. So I'm just trying to scope it and say that as young people, especially to the youth, we should not see leadership as waiting till we occupy a certain seat, waiting till we get some position, waiting till we get some job that will put us. No, that's not how we should see it. When we see problems or identify problems and are willing to solve those problems, when we have a vision and we are pulling others along to run that vision, when we see the good in others and we are ready to prepare them to the next level, when we are willing and able to sacrifice our own comforts and think of the comfort of those who are following us, our team members, our society, our communities, or people around us that we think that we are leading, we should first remember that we need to serve first as leaders. And that is how I want us to read the whole leadership thing.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's such a way. That's something that everybody needs to hear, I think. I was going to say, especially here in Nigeria, but I think everywhere, really. Thank you very much for that. And that brings us to our last question, which is, we are all running different races here on Earth. But for Dr. Genevieve, what would be the definition of success?
Wow. For Dr. Genevieve, I can say I'm successful when I feel and I know that for sure I have impacted a lot of people. And when I say a lot of people, I have done some, but I think that there is still more room for improvement. I think impact for me is one of the key things. That's a leader is called an effective leader when you are way gone, not when you are alive. Because when you are way gone and your legacy is felt, when you are way gone and all the things that you preached, you did, you managed, you led, is still being done, then I can say that, oh, in my grave somewhere, I'll say, yes, I have really been successful or have done well. That is the first thing. So impact is the first thing. The second thing for me, I would say that we are all human. We are all running our races. We all have, when we will say we've actualized, we'll say, yes, we've gotten to where we wanted to get to. I, for one, I have an agenda, and the agenda I think I'm already on. I thank God I identified my purpose on time. So I am living my purpose. And what is that purpose? That purpose is to ensure that a lot more women are financially empowered. I use the word financially empowered because I believe that when economically, I have what it takes to push things, to make things happen, to assist things, to turn things around, I can make my husband, the head of my home, a bit more relaxed. He's not overly stressed. I can support him. I can support my kids. I can even extend the support to outsiders who are not in my family circles. And that one is also part of impact. So if I see a lot of more women financially empowered, I think I will feel I've been successful, because it's a journey I am on and I'm still on. The third thing is that I would want to see a lot of women in high leadership positions. When you look at the statistics, I'm still told that it's less than 20%, if I'm sure, per the ratings. I'm told it's still less than 20%. Women are still not where we are supposed to be. And I don't think it is because anybody is preventing us, but I think it is because a lot of women are too laid back. Even when we can speak, we don't want to speak. We are thinking of society. When we can impact, we don't want to. We are thinking of society. We are not even ready to collaborate. We are not ready to pull others along because we are thinking that they'll come and overshadow us. So it's an agenda that I am on, and I am beating it day in and day out, trying to reiterate the fact that we are not in competition with you men, not at all. We are just there to support you. You are there to support us. The diversity makes it beautiful. So when I'm on the board and you're on the board, and I bring my views and you bring yours, we look at things from a different angle. Men look at things from a different angle. So when you bring those thoughts together, it makes it beautiful. So I want a lot more women to understand it this way. Not a race, not a fight, not a competition, but we should understand that the diversity makes it beautiful. Nothing should stop a woman from taking a leadership role if she can. But per cultural, issues, we know how it is. So when I see that at least the statistics day in and day out are getting better, but when I see that maybe a year or two from now, we are seeing a lot of women ready. I'm not talking about availability. I'm talking about readiness. We being ready to take it. So we've prepared ourselves enough that when the opportunity comes, we grab it. It's not now that the opportunity is coming for us as women to go and prepare ourselves. I don't want that. A lot of more women should be knowledge seeking. A lot of more women should be collaborative. A lot of more women should replace competition with collaboration and groom other young people to get to the pinnacle of their career. And for me, when these three things are met, I think I'll boldly beat my chest and say, Genevieve has been successful, because whatever dreams, whatever aspirations I have, whatever agenda I have per my purpose, I can tell that it's been fulfilled. And then maybe lastly, when I have a lot of cash, that I can enjoy with myself, my family. I love traveling. So when I can travel to all the beautiful places that I want to go to without sweat, without thinking twice, and I can still take care of the number of students I'm still taking care of in school, paying school fees here and there and supporting people here and there, then I can be happy and say that, oh, okay, at least one, I have achieved what I want to as a person. Two, I have impacted that even tomorrow, if I'm not there, all the plans I have, all the ideas, all the initiatives that I have put in place, I have a team of people who can run it, from my wise network women all the way to my Tarragon network of students, to all the people I have mentored and I'm still mentoring. I have succession plan managed in such a way that all these things can still go on with or without Genevieve. Then I can boldly say I have been successful.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor. That was a wonderful interview. You know, I've taken, there's some couple of things there are three things I picked there. I'm trying to remember the third one. But I know, one, collaboration. You spoke about collaboration several times, which is something I believe so much in as well. And you spoke about succession plan. You spoke about succession plan a lot, which is something that people don't really speak about enough, you know, but which is critical. Yes, I think the third was sustainability, which is also linked to succession plan. Yeah, you know, so those you know, I'm definitely taking those away from this discussion we've had. Thank you so much, Doctor. God bless you for this, and we hope that this is not the end. We hope that this is going to be the beginning of things we'll be doing together by God's grace, by God's grace, by God's grace. You know, I really do pray for that. So yeah, we'll keep in touch. As soon as the magazine's out, of course, I'll make sure I send that your way. And have you gone to our website? Have you subscribed?
I did yesterday night. I'm not
you did? Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will.
You went to the website, but you will. Okay, great. And then we'll need a passport photo. Well, not passport photo. We'll need a nice photograph of you and your contact or social media handles as well. That will also go with the with the profile of your article. So if we can get those to us, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dr. And sorry for the mix-up of the time as well.
No, that's fine. Before you go, I wanted to find out. I saw one of your messages. Aside the interview, do you require an article from me?
You know that at the beginning we were talking about an article. Then
okay.
Yes. Then later on, I said, okay, let us do an interview. Yes. But I will still want an article for you.
I write articles, but different articles. So do you want something on financial stuff, like financial inclusion? Do you want something?
We'll probably want something on what you do.
Customer experience, financial inclusion.
It could be anything of customer experience. It could be on some of the things you're doing with the women, because that is an important thing for us too. We like to sort of because
we spoke about customer experience. I think I have one that I was just about sending to my newspaper, so I can send that to you. I've not sent it to them yet.
Excellent. So
I think I can send that to you. I've been writing on customer experience for the past I think months. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, I write in the Business and Financial Times of Ghana. So
right. Okay.
I will share that with you, and then maybe later, if you make me aware how often you want it, I'll put a few articles together for you.
I'll do that. We release our monthly editions on the 15th of each month. It's a monthly magazine. Although we're about to start doing something that's be more like daily, but we haven't started that yet. But for now it's monthly, and we usually like our articles in possibly by preferably by the end of the month, maximum maybe by the 5th or so of the new month. So we
So
have
what's the
enough time.
length of your article? How many
Yeah,
words?
but 900. In fact, I have your email address, I think, but I
Sure.
can. Okay, good. I'll send you an email which have
All
all
right.
those things there. I'll do that. I'll do that maybe today or tomorrow.
That's good.
I'll say
And
yes.
is it just an educational magazine? Is it all
Magazine.
about education?
Yes. Now it's an education magazine that talks about education and that also educates. If you know what I
All
mean.
right.
So it's
I
not
get it.
so we're
Not
not just
strictly on
about
education. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, not strictly on education because if it was to be honest, our readership would be quite minimal. So we want something which is a bit broader and which people find useful even for normal everyday living. So we have articles on the emotional intelligence or mental well-being, mental health. We have articles on the importance of sports in terms of trying to get across um, uh, skills, lessons that
Acquisition,
may not be necessarily taught in the class.
classroom.
You understand? So we have articles on different. Of course, we have on policies. We have on different things. Basically, anybody that picks up a magazine will find something in that magazine
Something
that
to
they'll find
read.
interesting and just so we're not limited just to scholarly stuff. But yeah, so that's really what we're and we talk a lot about technical education as well. We talk about
Very
technical
important.
education. We talk about technical
I
vocational
wish I
education
could
because
turn my, I don't know how to turn this camera. I would have taken you, but don't worry, I'll send you a video. So where I am
okay,
currently is one of my
yes,
hubs. It's a hub. It's an
okay,
ecosystem hub. So small
okay,
businesses come here to have their conferences, their trainings, and all that because
okay,
they can't afford to be sending money to hotels and paying for
yes,
hotel spaces and all that. We also
yes,
have a space where we help. We have some of our SMEs into paintings. So I have a
you're right.
gallery where I have
Oh,
put
okay,
their paintings there. And then the
okay,
other bit
that sounds
that I
nice.
have, yes. So we train them, we build capacity in them. However, they
Yeah,
can also come here and do their own trainings and then
yeah,
support in
wonderful.
terms of administrative support, printing done for them, their flyers, branding, and all that.
Yes,
That is what this hub does.
yeah. All right, we're losing. We lost you.
You lost
We
me?
lost you. We heard you, but it was breaking, so you couldn't really hear.
Oh, sorry. I
Um,
was saying that so the hub actually helps SMEs to do
yes,
so many things. So
yeah,
apart from we build capacity in them, helping them with their
yes,
branding, their social media,
yeah,
getting exposure on social
yeah.
media and all that.
Okay,
We also give them the opportunity to come and do their events here so that they don't have to pay so
fantastic.
much to hotels and
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. Oh, excellent. That's really good. That's really good. Okay. We didn't really introduce ourselves. Ade, are you there?
Yes, it's there.
Ade, can you come on, please? Ade? Hmm,
I think you are muted.
okay.
I think Ade is
Ade, are
muted.
you there? He's muted. Okay. Because I just wanted to just introduce ourselves, at least what we do. Because yes, I also write I column in Business Day here in Nigeria, which I've been doing weekly for the last over 5 years now. I don't write about business as such or financial things, which is really made. But I write more about values, and yeah,
Write more
values,
about
uh, values,
values. Okay.
values. So, yeah, societal values. Where I use a lot of my own personal experiences as well to try and get some of those things across. I lived in the UK for many years. I studied in the UK, so some of the things which I learned there, or which I thought I picked up from there, I try and use those as sort of illustrations sometimes as well. So yeah, so I do that. I've been involved with different businesses as well. Ade also has a school in Abuja. That's where he resides. I stay in Lagos, where he's in Abuja, where he runs a school with his wife. But then he has his own personal business
So
that he
is
does
it
as well.
what level of school is it? Is it
He,
primary,
primary and secondary, primary and
secondary?
secondary. The school's called Granny Murray, in Abuja. Quite a good school. So yeah. So I just that's just and just to let you know a little bit about ourselves as well. Is he there? You are
I
host
think
now.
it's
I
just
think he
gone.
has gone. Yes, he has
It's
gone.
fine. At least
Okay, so I
I
just
got
so
away.
yes.
I
Thank you so
got
much, Doctor. Really appreciate
Thank
that.
you too. Thank you too. It's been nice
Excellent,
having
excellent.
you.
So I'm actually going to transcribe this. I'm going to
Okay.
transcribe this for that's the other thing I want to mention. I'm going to transcribe this for our magazine. So there might be some things that this app
You take
sometimes they don't
out.
pick up certain things too well. So I might just have to reach out to you with some of those things to help me, The other thing I also want to mention is that started from our September issue, which we just did, we've actually introduced an e-magazine. Which means if you look at our magazine for September, I sent you, a number of the articles actually have videos inserted in them. So that there's some people who wrote articles who also submitted like a video of maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So the video could be like a summary of what they wrote. Because we know that a lot of people don't read too well now. So we know that some people just like to listen or just like to watch.
Want to
So
visualize.
yes, so we have a couple of audio recordings. I did an audio recording at the beginning in my own article, and then we have other articles have videos as well. So that's not too introduced. So you may want to do the same. I'm just leaving that option to you.
You can
If there's a
share with
video,
me how it is, how brief it is, and
yes,
what is captured, and then I can just follow suit.
fantastic. I'll do that. I just thought to let you do that. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Nice. It's been a pleasure.
Great
I think
pleasure
Ade is
to meet you.
back by his voice.
He's back. Oh, it's true. Ade, are you there?
Back, but he's muted.
He's muted. I don't seem to realize.
Yeah. But he can hear us. He can hear us.
Can you hear us, Ade?
We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you.
Okay, Doctor. Thanks so much.
Thank you too,
God bless you.
gentlemen. I really appreciate your time and all the best. Keep up the great work you're doing.
Thank you so much, and you too. Let's keep in touch and let's do something together as well.
Sure,
Take good care.
sure.
God,
you too. Bye.
God bless you. Bye bye.
Bless you.